log stardate 3210, just before tea time. Our mission to prove that there's life after school, to look at a galaxy of games, to meet the stars of Silicon, to discover what's new in Microland. This is Prune, your friendly used computer, and these are the voyages of the Magic Micro Mission. Why on earth are you playing with the Earth, Captain?
What?
Why are you playing with the Earth?
Ah! Well, on this mission, we'll be taking a view of the world as it's never been seen before. Our planet as seen by computer graphics.
Yes, well, I suggest you put it back into orbit before anyone misses it.
Oh, right. Sorry. Hey, are you lot with the mission?
We are with the mission!
Great! Well then, meet Egghead.
Did you know that in-car computers are being developed which will possibly replace human drivers? More later.
Prune, I feel it's only fair to inform you that we've been joined on this mission by a large cluster of space monsters from St. Michael's Primary School in Wolverhampton.
Yay!
And several advanced microchips from the George Spencer Comprehensive School in Nottingham.
Yes, well, they all look jolly friendly, but there are two more Silicon superstars waiting to be beamed aboard. They're Britain's zany games inventors, Groucho and the Pieman.
And now it's time for our famous five, who on this mission are looking at games with a difference. Take it away, First Officer Joe!
Leslie's finding ghoulies and ghosties and things that go bump in the night, playing Nightmare Park on the Sharp.
And Robin's playing Valhalla on his Spectrum.
Julia is experiencing an old-time world of smuggling and swashbuckling, playing pirates on the BBC microcomputer.
And Mandy's playing Star Raiders on her Atari.
Stephen, in a literary frame of mind, is playing The Hobbit, and he's using a Commodore 64.
Right, and we'll be back with them later to find out what they think of all these games.
I've just been reading this super user-friendly book about computers. It's called Sam's System and it's by Rosemary Court. Chapter 4 is rather super. It's all about bits and bytes and binary numbers. And old Prune's been egging me on for a bit to tell you a bit about bits, so it seemed a good time to do that. Let me start first of all with humanoids. Humanoids have 10 fingers or 10 digits, so they can work out easily how to count up to 10, or if you start at 0, up to 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, computers are rather different. They prefer 2 digits, or 2 fingers, if you like, and they like to count 0 or 1. Now, a number which is 0 or 1 is called a bit, which just stands for binary digit. It's a digit with 2 possible values. Now, why are computers so awkward? Why do they use these bits and bytes? Well, they do that because inside the computer are transistors, and they have just 2 possible values. They can be turned on or they can be turned off, and the memory cells can either be full or they can be empty, so it's quite natural to use bits to represent the states inside the computer. Now, of course, human beings don't have to worry about that because the computer will convert any letters or numbers that you type in ordinary language into the computer. It will convert it automatically into a code the computer can understand, and that's written in bits and bytes. It's all in here in this super book, so I think I'll carry on reading it. This is Egghead logging off.
Who are you?
I'm Richard. Am I all right for Coventry?
You're not all right for Coventry. This is the Magic Micro Mission.
Oh.
You can't park this here. Come to think of it, what is this?
Well, this is the communications car.
What's the communications car?
Well, CommuniCar was built as World Communications Year to show everyone all the possibilities that you can have with mobile communications.
All right, then. And what does it have in terms of mobile communications?
Well, we've got 2 CB radios, so if one channel's blocked, you can always use another complete waveband system. We've got the latest push-button radio telephone, so you can dial almost anywhere in the world from the car. We've got a VHF radio, and we've got 2 computers.
Tell me why.
Well, we think it's going to be the thing of the future. As you know, all computers do is process information, which is everything that people do in their offices all day. Therefore, here we have, with the computer, the mobile office. We can do order processing, we can do invoicing, check stock levels, credit ratings, all the things a businessman needs to know when he's on the move. And the great thing is that when you finish your day's work, you don't have to spend all night doing the paperwork. It's all done for you.
What about the everyday motorist?
Well, there are a few applications for him coming along too. For example, imagine a database where you can have every single town and every single road in the country on the computer. You plug the computer into the telephone to the central database, and hoopla, tell the computer where you are, and he'll tell you where to go. Diversions, routes, cheap petrol, everything.
Does it do anything else?
Oh, yes. You could do, well, the computer will monitor the performance of every single moving part in the car.
But you couldn't use this when you were moving, could you?
Oh, no, it's illegal. Although with a voice synthesizer, you could listen and you could talk.
OK, tell me a little bit about World Communications here.
Well, World Communications here was dreamt up by the United Nations. And the purpose of it is really to tell the whole world, every single government, every single nation, that the telephone is here to be used. And what we're trying to do is to create a world communication system where anyone can phone anyone.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And now we're off on a different sort of journey, a journey of the imagination using computer graphics. It's a film called Dream Flight, and it's made by the University of Montreal in Canada, and it's earning praise and acclaim all over the world. It is not, and I stress not, a cartoon. Once upon a time, there was a strange little being living on a distant planet. He was all alone and dreaming of different horizons. film was absolutely incredible, and it was all programmed on a computer. And now I'm sitting here with two very strange gentlemen who I hope are going to introduce themselves.
Well, thank you very much for being on our show. It's a pleasure for us to be here with all these young people dressed in second-hand underwear and bin liners. My name is Uncle Groucho, you win a fat cigar, and this is the world-famous bit of a cult, the Pie Man.
Hi, how are you? You
I'm
look very
fine.
nice.
Thank you. What's this?
No one knows.
Oh, dear. Must have hoped you never get a cold in that.
Well, I did recently, and it was awful, you know. I was going to ask Prune if later on he could beam me up some Scotties, because it keeps running.
Oh, dear. And what's this on your chest?
Well, I think these young ladies here, they actually know what it is, and I hope everybody out there knows what it is.
Well, can they tell me?
It's pi in Greek.
That's right. Well, pi,
Of
as in
course.
Pythagoras, is, whatever it is.
The Pie Men.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, I
It's the
understand.
big clue to Pie Mania.
Is this Baker for?
I'm sorry, boys. It's hands-off time because we're heading for a black hole absolutely stuffed with adverts. This is going to blow your apron.
Help! I'm desperate.
Well, have you tried laughter? With colourful gift sets and sprays.
Perfect for young Sophie.
And some splendid new gift packs of hand and body lotion.
Lily, lilac, roses, honeysuckle.
And for someone special, this pretty Yardley soap dish filled with lavender soap.
Must get one for the wife.
Would you like it delivered?
Trust Yardley to solve your problems this Christmas.
Electrical shopping, you just can't lose. At Currys, there's always lots to choose. You can't buy cheaper, that's what we say. Currys Price Promise, there's no better way. Come to Currys, we're the electrical people, where everything clicks.
The music of Richard Klederman, my new album, is a collection of melodies I have selected for you. I hope you enjoy my new album. Au revoir.
See that number? No, that's not the number of miles I've done. That's the number of bikes stolen last year. Shocking, isn't it? What can you do about it? Well, a full-time security service could prove expensive.
And once you've had your bike stolen, it's very hard to give a detailed description to the police. Best thing to do, find the frame number and keep a note of it. AC 2816.
And when you're at home, keep it locked. In the garage or shed.
And when you're out,
Lock it to a sturdy fixture where it can be seen. Remember, a thief would like your bike.
Back so soon? In that case, it must be time for micro hits.
The Spectrum people, the latest non-violent game from the Pieman in Automania. In Morris Meets the Bikers, Morris Mine has been abandoned in a car park and has to collect 10 coins to pay his way at the exit. Watch out for those phantom bikers. Top marks for originality. For the Commodore 64, there's Dickie's Diamonds. Dickie is a clog-dancing spider that hangs a diamond in the centre of his web. You are an owl who tries to get the diamond by destroying Dickie's web, strand by strand. Life Isn't Easy in Mangrove, a game for the VIC-20. You have to increase your colony of cells by growing new ones, but each time the heart beats, any cells without a neighbour die off. Another complication is the rampaging microbes. In Hunchback, a game for the BBC computer, Esmeralda has to be rescued from the castle keep, and Hunchback has to race along the battlements to reach her. The perils of this game include cannonballs and nasty defenders with sharp spears. Also, for the BBC, there's Proteins, a classic and quite slick shoot-'em-down game. Ecologists will like the reference to acid rain. And from ColecoVision, there's Mousetrap. It's a maze game, and you're the mouse trying to avoid the cats out to get you after you gobble up cheese. A sort of do-it-yourself Tom and Jerry. But there's a twist in the plot. You can turn into a dog.
Log in, everybody. The importance of computers for transport was driven home in the 1960s and 70s when they helped navigate and control manned spacecraft to the moon. But then, if you'd looked inside a motor car, you'd have been lucky to find 50 transistors, let alone a computer. Since then, electronic parts have got much cheaper and they're much tougher, so that today, cars are not only designed and built by computer, but we've got developments like the Magic Maestro's mission to turn cars into mobile electronic officers. And at last, cars have been made much more efficient by installing microchips. These monitor and control the running of the engine. And the Maestro's even got talking instruments that give you out helpful warnings. In the future, we can expect cars that are equipped with computerized brakes and computerized suspensions that will make your journey safer and much more comfortable. But the really exciting development is the in-car navigation computer that can actually help you find your way to your destination. A navigation computer uses special sensors that can compute the exact position of the car by receiving signals from a radio beacon or possibly from sensors buried underneath the road or even by measuring the Earth's magnetic field. It's technically possible for a navigation computer to take over the driving altogether, but of course it would have to be fitted with some kind of special radar to watch out for pedestrians and avoid bumping into other cars. It'll probably be the next century before anything like television's Knight Rider car comes along, and if it ever does, and if Leyland get to build it, they'll probably call it the Austin Prune-cess. Egghead logging off.
What are you doing?
Dialing into the school's computer.
Are those your grades?
Yeah. I don't think that I deserved an F. Do you?
You can't do that.
Already done.
These are my grades.
How can anybody get a D in home ec?
If that's none of your business, can you erase this, please?
No, it's too late.
What are you doing?
I'm changing your biology grade.
No, I don't want you to do that. You're going to get me in trouble.
No, nobody can find out. There, you just got a C. Now you don't have to go to summer school.
Change it back.
Wow. It thinks I'm Falcon.
Shall we play a game?
Let's play. Global thermonuclear war.
Fine.
All right.
I have 7, correction 8. That's 8 red birds 2 degrees past apogee.
Better get the old man down here.
Overday, we have Soviet missile warning. Check for malfunction and report confidence.
What the hell?
Confidence is high. I repeat, confidence is high.
Overdale, is this an exercise?
Negative, this is not an exercise.
What is all that stuff?
I don't know. They're trajectory headings for multiple impact re-entry vehicles.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it's great.
Welcome aboard.
Don't call me aboard.
Look, you two, what are you two doing in computers, please?
We are waging a small campaign against all the nasty, violent games that are available to these dear children out here.
So what are your games like, then?
Humorous.
Ridiculous.
Family entertainment.
They sound very original.
But they're kind of fun.
Yeah. What's the plot line of them? That's
They're
different.
bizarre adventures with spectacular prizes. Something that you all would want to get hold of. Isn't he a lovely boy?
Wonderful. Yes, look, what are these prizes?
Well, on Groucho's program...
In this little game here, we've hidden a Hollywood personality inside the program, And anyone who discovers who this personality is, and we pick out of the hat, we will send them to Hollywood to meet the star, over on Concorde, back on the QE2 with £500.
Fantastic. And that's your game. What's your game, then?
My name is... No, my game is Pymania, which is another bizarre adventure where you have to locate in time and space a beautiful golden sundial.
Your most unusual people to find.
I don't know.
But look, anything else you want to tell me? Because, I mean, you've come here, you're dressed marvellously. What else are you into?
Basically, the spreading of joy and happiness in a totally different light with the family in mind.
I've got to shake your nozzle. Fantastic. And you, Groucho.
Thank you very
Best
much.
of luck. Right, well, it's time. There you are. It's time now for the games verdicts. So take it away, Officer Joe.
Robin, you've been playing Valhalla. This is an adventure game. What do you think?
It's very good, but there are too many characters. There's something like 50 characters in all.
Well, you seem to have a piece of paper with hundreds of them written down here.
The thing is, there's two sides, and if you want to stay on one side without the word, without whoever they are in front of you, you tend to kill the wrong people, so you get on.
That is kind of unfortunate. As a game, it looks very interesting because you've got both pictures and instructions, haven't you?
Yes.
And does it stand to reason that if you give an instruction, the same thing happens on the screen?
Yes, it does. Like if I type in shut, chest.
It happens on the screen. Well,
it shuts.
That seems really interesting. How many marks do you give it out of 5?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
And Leslie's been playing Nightmare Park on his Sharp. What's it been like? Has it been a nightmare?
No.
Or fun?
It's all right. It's
All right.
Yeah, it's about it's a sort of general knowledge game. If you go through sets, like it might give you sums.
Yeah.
But then
What's this? It says claims another victim. I mean, how did you die then?
Because I missed it.
Missed what?
I was supposed to collect 3 bars of gold, but I missed 3 bars of gold.
So you have to go off on a journey and collect things, do you?
Yeah, and then you might get a question, and then you have to answer it. If you get it wrong, you die automatically, and there's your score.
Sounds wonderful. Can you give us another screen on there so we can see what else? The graphics are rather good, actually, aren't they?
Yeah.
Have they been good the whole way throughout the game?
It's all right. Now there's a sum one. Well, I don't know what to do
You get a
with
sum in the middle of it.
that. If you put 66, it does.
Wrong, he.
Yeah.
How many would you give this out of 5 then?
I give it 3.
3? OK, 3 out of 5.
Mandy, this is Star Raiders. To be quite honest with you, I've been hoping somebody's going to explain this to me.
Yeah, it is pretty complicated at first. There's about 10 different keys what you've got to do all at once. All you do, it's similar to a Star Trek type game.
Yeah.
You fly through space and you've got an overall map of where the different places are. You can either land on a planet and get refueled and stuff, or you can go and shoot the aliens.
Ah. Well, the actual concept of it is very good, but when you're actually playing the game, you can't see very much, can you?
You can. You've got all the readings at the bottom. You've got how fast you're going, how many miles it is to where you're going. You've got all the X and Y coordinates and everything.
My mistake. How many marks do you give it out of 5?
5.
5 out of 5?
Julia's been playing Pirate on her Acorn BBC B computer. What was it like, Jules?
Alright.
All right. What did you have to do, my lovey?
Well, these things come up. Do you want to sail south, north, west or east? You have to put where you want to sail.
And where are you trying to get to when you sail?
Well, you just put down, you have to see where it comes to. Sometimes you come to rocks
Right.
and you lose 3 points.
Do you actually shipwreck there, or can you get past them?
Well, it depends really whereabouts you are.
How far did you get on it?
Not very far.
Not
I got
very
it
far?
to 290.
Doesn't sound bad. How many would you give it out of 5 then?
4.
4? You obviously enjoyed it. 4 out of 5. Oh, straight on to you, Stephen. Right, here we go. Now, you've been playing The Hobbit,
Yes,
which is obviously based on the book by Tolkien.
That's right. Yeah.
On your Commodore 64. How did you find it? Did it...
Well, it's really good to play. The game sticks pretty closely to the plot of the book, so if you read the book, then it's that much easier.
Right.
Unfortunately, I haven't,
You
so
haven't?
I'm having a bit of trouble with it.
So which page are you on?
I don't know, because it sort of flicks from one page to another randomly.
Jules?
I can show you where I am at the moment. I'm in a cave, hopefully. Yes, there we are. So that's what I see in the cave.
Is there any book you personally would like to see put into a game? You've played the game of the book, of the film.
Yes.
What book would you like?
Well, I don't really know of any books that would be suited to an electronic game.
You'll have to write one.
Yeah. I could
OK,
do,
how many
couldn't I?
would you give it out of
Yes.
5?
4.
4 out of 5 from Stephen.
Hey,
What on
Payman.
earth are they doing, those
Remember
two?
when I picked you out the gutter?
Yeah?
and put you where you belong.
Excuse me, that belongs to me, that area there.
Pardon?
That area belongs to me. Could you get out of my control box?
Well, you won't mind if we just play around a little, would you?
Ever seen one of these before?
Yes, I have.
No, there we go again. Really, I don't think these superstars realise quite how long it takes me to reload after they've had their little fiddle with my input console. I should be lucky if I can bubble sort this one before the next bit. It is a far, far better thing I do than I have ever done. It is a far, 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 far... Oh, you see, now I'm malfunctioning. It's a far, far, far... Syntax error.